Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining my live. I don't know if I can do it. Well, we are doing some outdoorsy stuff. We might try. I'm not going to be able to. Not sure if I'll be able to do some stargazing today because of the clouds. But we are going to investigate on some ants. Got some ants on our porch, and that little blob right there. Right there. That is ants. I threw a part of a chip down there. Well, it accidentally fell down there. And this is what it looks like. I honestly did not believe that ants like chips. Like regular, like potato chips. But they're there eating it. I get intrigued by all this stuff. It doesn't take much to catch my interest. Obviously. I was also, earlier, killing flies with my lovely handy dandy fly swatter. And, was tossing it down there to the ants. And, well, I did not know this either. But they pick it up and then they carry it. Over here, I thought my cameraman will work a little bit better than what it's doing. Okay, and that little spot right there. Here, let me use my finger. It's a better pointer. Right there. They carry that fly all the way over there. It was over here by the potato chip that is almost completely covered. And then they carried it all the way over there. It's not that long of a distance, but for an ant, I figured that would have been a distance. So, I know it's a weird subject. We're talking about insects. Right now, we just finally got some rain after basically 4 days of being. Some days we're in the 90s, some days we're in 3 digits here in central New York. Hi, Southern, how are you? We're talking about ants. But have you ever noticed how ants are constantly working? Day, night, cold, hot. They're constantly working. So I guess that should be a good thing to look at, just because, well, we should be working like ants. Yeah, we're still talking about ants. Well, as for our weather, This is our lovely weather for today. It's cloudy. But it's still warm. Like the humidity is really bad. But yeah. Okay, let's go back to the ants. They're more interesting. Nothing's going on at the weather. It does not take much to entertain me. It's not that I'm an ant fan, because I'm not an ant fan. I find them annoying and a nuisance. But it's the fact that it was just a little piece of chip. I think it might have been about maybe 2.5 inches, if that. And they pretty much demolished that chip. It's not that big of a chip. I'll zoom out, as I just did. That little blob right there is the chip. But when we zoom back in, maybe. Look how fast those buggers are moving. That chip is literally covered in ants. Fast little workers. I'm just curious if they get it down to a certain size, that chip, if they will pick it up and move it, like they did with the flies that I put down there for them, just out of curiosity. Sorry, I'm not good at this camera thing. It has a mind of its own. It's moving all over the place. It's moving about as fast as those ants are moving. Feel free to like and share. Do you get a kick out of watching nature and what they do? I had a fly on me. I tried killing it, but I missed it. My camera moves about as fast as my aim. I guess what they say is practice makes perfect, I guess. You got a fly on your shoe. Oh, it moved. Feels like it's starting to get cooler out, which it would be nice. It has been so hot the last 4 days. I could hardly even sleep. I had my air conditioner on. I had a fan on in my bedroom with the air conditioner on. And then I had a fan on in my living room for my cat. Oh, it was horrible. And the saddest part is, we're only in July. We have August to go through, yeah. And then we have a little of September to go through. So we might see some lightning bugs tonight. Do you guys call them lightning bugs or fireflies? And if you don't know what either one of them are, they're like a dark, ugly bug. And their butts light up. Literally. Their butts light up. You can see them more, so you only see them at nighttime anyways. But you're more apt to see them at nighttime after it's rained. Hi, LL. How are you? Thank you for joining my live. We're just talking about bugs. Down there in that little black spot right there. I lost part of a chip. Basically a potato chip. We call them chips, but it's a potato chip. It might have been about 2.5 inches long, if that. And it was an experiment that I wanted to try to see if ants would eat it. Well, they are. They completely covered that potato chip. I'm sure in record time that it will be gone. It's not quite dark enough yet to see lightning bugs. Tonight we probably won't be able to do any stargazing, only because it is cloudy. It's been cloudy all day, which is a good thing, because we finally got some rain after a while. Water some of my plants. For all those who have joined my live, thank you for joining. Please feel free to comment, like, and share. Where is everybody from? How hot is it in your area? Hello, Sylvette. How are you? As for some of my plants, I have a juniper tomato plant. These are some of my lovely tomatoes. There's a set on that side, and I have to zoom in a little bit more so you can see those other ones. It just got dark on me. Yeah, in the back far corner, there's some more. They don't get very big, but they're juicy and a hearty tomato. Now over on this side, which is my mom's porch, I have 4 Rama tomatoes. Probably pronounced it wrong. I have 4 little ones. They're about maybe 3 inches so far. I got a set there, and then the other tomato plant. You got a few right there, but there's a ton more on the other side. Here is my mom's roses. Now, a trick with these roses are, or with any plant that for that matter, all you have to do is flick the flower off once they start dying. Or on some flowers, once they're already dead, you could pluck the blossom out and then they will regrow. And it's the same way with the roses. You just shake the petals off and then they'll regrow more roses. Now on this one over here, this is my rose bush. It was bigger than what it was, but unfortunately I had a really big dead part of the plant in the middle of it, so I had to cut it down. It'll regrow next year, and it'll be just as blossomy as it has been in past times. Now these roses almost looks like a bouquet of roses. They're starting to bud. So maybe about tomorrow or the next day, they'll be in full blossom. Now over here on this one right here, it's a different breed of a rose. I can't remember what breed it is, but you see how the petals are starting to flake off? Well, when you pick off the rest of the petals, it'll germinate. It'll grow some more roses onto it, and then they'll reblossom. My favorite of the 2 of the roses that I've shown is going to be this one here. This one here, it's all one big, was at one time a gigantic bush, but unfortunately part of it was in the middle of the rose bush. It was dead. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah. So I had to cut that out so it didn't ruin the rest of the rose bush. Next year it'll regrow and it'll be much healthier. This one's this one's my baby. This one I like the best. It does have thorns on it, but not as bad as these ones. This one here, they have massive thorns on it. They're not very friendly. Same thing with this one on my mom's porch. They have massive thorns on them. They are not friendly at all. You could be very nice to them and whatsoever, and you could be weeding them and all that, and they'll just come out and they'll come out and bite you. And they don't draw just little amounts of blood. They draw blood because the thorns on them, they're ridiculous. So, and I think I got them at Walmart. So, yeah. But as for this rose bush, I don't remember where I'm getting this one from. I think I got it from church, and I don't know where they got it from, because I got it for my mom for Mother's Day, and anyways, I got that one from, yeah, that one, my baby, that one I got from church. It was for Mother's Day. My mom got one, and there was plenty of extra left over, so the pastor allowed me to have a second one. So I ended up planting that. Mom got an extra 2 from another person who went to church with us. But unfortunately, I didn't know enough about roses, but when you leave them planted when you're first starting out, they don't get very big. But don't cut them down or thinking that they're not going to rejuvenate. They will rejuvenate. This one, my baby, that was just like a little stem. And this rose bush, this one here, is about maybe 2 or 3 years old. Maybe 4. Yeah, I think it's between 3 and 4. And she's gotten massive. This one here, the one that's not very friendly, that one's about a year. That one was just a stem. And look how big it's gotten. This one here, Mom's, that was about 2 years old. And you see how big they got. Those ones came from Walmart. And then, yeah. So let's go back to investigating our lovely ants here. Yeah. They pretty much have that thing. Like I said before earlier in the video, I accidentally dropped a piece of potato chip down. It's about 2.5 inches long. And it's not even that now. So they pretty much have it almost demolished. I honestly didn't think that they would eat it. I was just going to toss it out to the birds. But, go figure. Now, some of my tomatoes, we'll go back to my tomatoes because I like my tomatoes. My tomatoes here, I know you're supposed to pluck some of the bleeders, basically, which is just taking the nutrients from the plant. They're not going to produce any fruit. I haven't done that this year because I'm not sure much onto it, and a ladybug just went through. I mean, lightning bug. Anyways, we'll be looking for lightning bugs as well after we don't play with the plants. But yeah, you're supposed to be able to pinch them at the base, and they usually snap off, and the rest of the nutrients is supposed to go to the plant, so it'd be more nutrients for the tomatoes to grow and so forth. But yeah, Mom's over there looking at the plants, and I think she might show you how it's done. See? You see how this plant is? It's just a little stem. This is basically at the base of your tomato plant. Now this will be for your tomatoes. No fruit is going to come on this because you need a blossom. No blossom is going to come off on this one. So you basically pinch it at its base and it'll snap off. So we'll just toss that over there. Well, the bunnies will eat it. We got wild bunnies in town. Yeah. But yeah, a few minutes ago when I was talking about the tomato plants, a lightning bug went through. They're fast little buggers. What do you guys call lightning bugs, or do you call them fireflies? If you don't know what a lightning bug is or a firefly, it's about 1.5 inch bug that flies. They're dark. They're not very pretty. And then their butts light up. But yeah. Can I have the flies water? We've been playing with flies all day. Here, can you hold that? They can't see you. Just talk. Just do random talking. So this evening we actually get to sit outside and enjoy the evening versus the last few nights. Last 4, 5 nights wasn't able to because it's just way too hot. We finally got some rain today. But here on our porch my plants still needed some watering and all that stuff. But yeah, we got a little rain today. Rain till about, I think, 5, 6, 7 o'clock now, but we won't be able to do any stargazing today because the sky is all cloudy, and over the hills over yonder, you see all that fog. So yeah. Hello, Haiti. How are you? How you doing? Welcome to my life. We're just talking about a bunch of random things. I got talking about my little roses and my tomato plants. I was intrigued by some of these ants that are on the ground here. I accidentally dropped a chip on the ground, which is that right there. They completely demolished it. But we might be able to do some lightning bug seeing. When you guys were younger, do you guys ever chase lightning bugs? I know when I was a kid, I chased lightning bugs. Hi, Tim. How are you? We're talking about lightning bugs. Or fireflies. I grew up saying lightning bugs, but I also know them as fireflies as well. Did anybody ever chase after fireflies when they were a kid? Hi, Home Tops. How are you? It's nice seeing y'all. Yeah, we were talking about my plants earlier. I have some tomato plants and some pepper plants and some cucumbers. And then I have some rose bushes. So where is everybody from? Is everybody enjoying this lovely heat that we're getting? Or do you not have heat in your area? Here in central New York, it was the last 5 days it's been in the 90s, or it's been in the 3 digits. The hottest was 110 or 44.4 in Celsius. People are still shooting off fireworks. You might hear a couple bangs here or pops here and there because they still shoot off fireworks in this area. There's a few stragglers. You might be able to hear some in the distance. What are some of your guys' favorite activities in the summer? I like to go fishing when I have time. I usually like going either to the rivers, fishing off the side of the banks, or we got a couple lakes around here where you either could use a boat or you could fish off the banks, either or. Some places have boats where you can rent and fish that way, or you just bring your own. How was everybody's 4th of July? Hi, Lopez. Hi, Pedro. Can I get a rose or some diamonds? See, it's still a little too bright to be able to see the lightning bugs. I have to pee. Well, we're going to pause this live for right now. I will see you all later. Take care.